So, do you prefer Goodreads or Storygraph? I know we've all used Goodreads for a very, very long time, for many years, and personally, I like the way it's set up, I like to use it, but I don't like Amazon, and I don't like a lot of Goodreads policies, and I've wanted to switch to Storygraph ever since it came out because it's independently owned, and it's made by readers for readers, and it's constantly evolving, and people care about it. I exported my Goodreads library into Storygraph when it first came out. I used it for a little bit and then I completely forgot about it because I just could not switch over. It's mentally challenging for me to have any changes in my life, so I want to try that again. Today is February 1st and I want to try to use Storygraph instead of Goodreads for the whole month of February to see how it goes. I'm not going to use Goodreads at all this month, and I know that if at the end of the month I decide to switch back to Goodreads, it's going to be hell for me to log back all of those books that I read this month, but I still want to try this. Maybe I'm gonna switch over to Storygraph for good and I'm never gonna go back to Goodreads. So if you are on Storygraph, you can add me, of course. I'm gonna add all of my links down below. And right now I deleted all of my data from Storygraph and I'm exporting again my Goodreads library so that I can import it into Storygraph, and I'm going to start logging. I'm going to keep you updated on everything that I read this month and everything that I log into Storygraph, any interesting functions that I find there, any interesting things that happen there. Let's go. Okay, so I just finished exporting my Goodreads library and I added it to Storygraph. It said that they are experiencing heavy load, so it may take up to 72 hours for it to be imported. But I think it said that last time as well when I did that, and it actually happened pretty quickly. So I'm gonna wait until the end of the day today. And if the imports don't happen, then I'm going to start logging my books on Storygraph manually. If that results in some doubles, it results in some doubles, and I'm just gonna have to delete them by hand. But it's gonna be okay. I am actually, what am I reading right now? I'm reading, I just finished Radiance for a buddy read, and I'm gonna read Eidolon for a buddy read as well. And I am reading the Humane Society for Creatures and Cryptids. Where is it? I don't know. I don't know where anything is right now. It's over there. It's over there somewhere. I'm reading it for a video. I've got these two books about politics that a friend lent me that I'm going to read for a vlog as well. And I'm going to do another vlog for a book that I want to watch the movie of later. And I'm just gonna read a bunch of other books in February as well, because I don't have enough time to do anything. I like to torture myself, so I'm planning to read a lot of books this month. Be right back. Hi, this is February 2nd, my second day of using Storygraph instead of Goodreads. I accidentally opened Goodreads once, but I immediately remembered that I don't use it this month and I closed it. It's like an addiction. I just go there and I don't know, I guess I check it like social media every day, all the time. I installed Storygraph instead of my phone, and it took me an hour to remember my password, even though I input it into my computer yesterday when I was logging in. What is wrong with my memory? But yeah, I am using Storygraph, enjoying it, logging my books. Somebody already added me as a friend. Now I have 2 friends on Storygraph. Let's add each other as friends, and maybe that'll make Storygraph more interesting for me. I gotta add some people in there as well. I'm also trying to use Fable for book clubs, and it's hard for me to use because for some reason on my phone Fable is white text on white background. I have no idea why. I tried all kinds of different settings, turned off dark mode on my phone, still white on white. I have no idea why it's like that. So if you're using Fable and something like that has happened to you and you know how to fix it, please let me know. Okay, I am going to add the book that I just bought. This one, I bought it for a vlog. I'm going to add it to my owned books on Storygraph, and I'm gonna go read. Hello, today is February 4th. I forgot to update yesterday. I haven't used Storygraph at all yesterday, but I also didn't use Goodreads. I'm looking at the desktop Goodreads right now. Desktop Storygraph right now. Sorry, I'm tired and I'm not feeling that great, so the words are not wording correctly. But yes, I'm looking at the desktop one right now. I think my main problem with transferring from Goodreads to Storygraph last time was the fact that, first of all, I follow and I friended a lot of people on Goodreads, so I, you know, have a bunch of other readers to support and to look at their reading. And on Storygraph so far I have only 2 friends whose reading I can observe. And also the layout is incredibly clean and minimalistic. While that can be good for a lot of people and I completely support that, to me it just seems a little barren and like nothing is happening. That's just purely in my head. So I think I need to add some friends, and I'm just going to go on Instagram, I think, and talk to all the people who I talk to about books so that I can have a community on Storygraph. Hello, today's February 6th, the 6th day of me switching from Goodreads to Storygraph. I just posted on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts about it so that I can find a community there, so that some people can maybe add me to their friend list, so that it doesn't feel as lonely on Storygraph, because I like Storygraph and I want to support an independent platform owned by readers that actually care about other readers, not by Amazon. And I just want to create a community there for myself so it doesn't feel as lonely. And hopefully the TikTok and the Shorts video is going to help me find some people. Sorry for my low energy. I'm in a lot of pain. My back is destroying me today. So today is February 11th and I'm still using Storygraph exclusively for this month. I haven't been to Goodreads once. Yay me. And yesterday when I was in bed, I was looking at some books on this like secondhand website where we sell old things. And I found these books that I wanted to read, so I looked up their synopses on Storygraph, and it was just as convenient as Goodreads. So I could do what I do when I need to look up a synopsis of a book that I find in a bookshop or something like that seems interesting. So I think that the experiment is going well so far.
One eternity later.
Hello, good morning. So it's the 26th of February and I just updated my Storygraph. Last night before bed I was stressing so much, just laying there trying to fall asleep and thinking about the fact that if I choose to use Storygraph over Goodreads all the time, it's going to bother me that I have a Goodreads account that isn't getting updated. And if I choose to use Goodreads instead of Storygraph, it's going to bother me that I have both accounts. Like, it's just, I can't have both accounts. But I can't delete one of them as well, because I have connections on Goodreads and like, but I also don't want to get rid of my Storygraph. So I don't know, anxiety makes it very hard for me. And I need there to be one account that I'm using and it's the main thing. I just updated my currently reading pile on Storygraph, and what I really enjoy is that I can mark a book as DNF, put in an explanation, and it's just going into its own little pile, which on Goodreads is not a thing that you can do. On Goodreads you just have to create like your own little folder that you put into the DNF. It's not an automated process there. And then again, the decimal ratings make me so happy. I was just able to give a book 2.5 stars and it just made me feel free, like I can do what I want, like there's a thing that I'm allowed to do that I want to do. So far I think Storygraph is winning. I haven't had this urge to go on Goodreads at all through all this time. I guess I am missing the updates from all of my friends on Goodreads, so I'm thinking that at the end of the month I'm probably going to try and use mainly Storygraph for all of my reading updates and everything, but I can still go on Goodreads to see what my other people that I follow and my friends are reading and doing there. And I'm going to try to add all of the same people on Storygraph if they have accounts, and create a bigger community for myself on Storygraph so I don't feel as lonely there. But so far I would say that I'm enjoying it really much. I'm sorry that there have been so few updates on Storygraph in this video, and that it's been like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 17. It's just because of who I am as a person, unfortunately, but I think I am actually learning something from this experience. Hello my friends, good morning. Today is March 1st. Happy first day of official spring. And this is the conclusion of my Storygraph versus Goodreads video. So, a couple of other things that I've noticed that I like about one and dislike about the other. I've got this Kindle thing here, right? And you can connect it to your Goodreads account because of course they are both products of Amazon, and that is very convenient. And I almost did it when I started setting this up, but then I remembered that I'm not using Goodreads right now, So that is a thing that annoys me, that I can use it through here, but I'm probably not going to, or I'm going to log into it strictly for research purposes, just to look up the books that I have to read in case I need to look them up. Another thing that I really like about Storygraph is that at the end of the month, when I am doing my wrap-ups for Instagram or for YouTube or for TikTok or for anything, or just to look at my own stats for myself, on Goodreads there are no stats. You cannot just go into a little box, tick some little things, and see specifically how many books or pages or anything you've read in a specific month. On Storygraph, you can. This is what it looks like. I think it looks amazing and I love it, and it's actually going to help me so much with my reading wrap-ups every month, which I often avoid doing because it's hard for me to go through Goodreads, look at all of the books that I read because I already forgot what I read, write everything down. It's already there. They've done it for me. It's amazing. It really helps my stupid little brain that sometimes can't handle simple tasks. So I think that Storygraph won. I'm gonna keep using Storygraph. I'm gonna keep using Storygraph to log my reading. I'm going to try and get myself a community going there so that I have a lot of bookish friends to follow, so that I can see what other people are reading, because that makes me really happy. I'm going to keep my Goodreads account, but in my bio there, I'm going to put that I currently do not log my reading through Goodreads. If you would like to see my reading logged, here's my Storygraph page, because I don't think that I can physically log on both platforms. If at one point soon I feel like, yes, I can click 2 apps instead of one, that I'm reading this book, then I'm going to log on both of them so that I don't lose my community on Goodreads. But Storygraph is superior, and I'm going to support it as much as I can. As soon as I have some, you know, extra money, even a little bit, if they are doing donations or anything like that, I'm gonna help, because I think that it's a great platform that needs to rise and destroy Goodreads. I sound really mad at Goodreads. I'm not that mad at Goodreads, but well, I'm a little mad at Goodreads. But I think that Storygraph is much superior. Even if it was hard for me to transition, I'm glad that I tried it. And I'm gonna put my link in the description of the video so we can become friends on Storygraph, and I hope you can enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for watching this silly little video. Let me know which platform you're using, Goodreads or Storygraph. Maybe you're using something else completely. Maybe you just have a reading journal and you don't use an app at all. That would be interesting for me to know. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Slava Ukraini!